All right. Welcome, everybody. Whoop, hang on. I'm just getting something settled there. All right. Welcome. Happy Soul Day to you. I hope you're having a beautiful and blessed day. This is Akasha, Nanakasha. You can check me out at nanakasha.com. And every day till the December 17th, we're going to be doing Transformational Abundance Meditation. So we're getting ready to really be aligned with our true selves, with our energy, with the flow of life force, so we can go through the holidays with joy and grace and ease, and most importantly, clear, cleanse, and prepare for the new year. The new year is going to be very different than any year we've ever experienced before. It's time for us to align with the truth of who we are, listen to our inner voice, follow our personal blueprint, or what I call your soul signature frequency, and begin to think for ourselves. That means letting go of everyone else's opinions, freeing yourself from thoughts and beliefs that say you have to do or be something, or you can't be or do something, or you should have been or done something, okay, or anything in between. Nothing that has happened in your life is wrong. Everything has had a purpose. And in that moment, it was what was optimal for you. If you begin to accept yourself and accept your life, the flow of abundance is so much easier to recognize, because you're not stuck by trying to be attached to all kinds of external ideas of what you should have or could have or don't get to have or want but had and lost, or everything in between. So we're here to be the free, clear, abundant beings that we are. And a couple days ago, we cleared the biggest current block to our abundance, and we really began to tune in to the field of abundance. So let's take a look real quick at our scale. So I've been sharing this scale with you. This thing is worth $1 million, I swear to God. It's a tool we use in Light Body School, and we go deep within. There's so much wisdom and so much knowledge, so much power in this. It's a little bit like biofeedback without having to have a machine. So take a look at it. You can test if you know how to use your pendulum or muscle test or body compass. We learn all of that. We teach all of that as well. You should have a trustworthy truth testing method that you can absolutely rely on when you want to affirm your intuition, or you want to not get emotionally involved or force a decision. It's really good for certain kinds of information to get yourself out of the way. So the great thing is to see where you are now and where you are at the end of the meditation. So if you can test yourself, you can start. You always ask before you use any of these methods of testing for a clear and open channel to your highest good. I ask for a clear and open channel to my highest good. Then you test. If you get a no, you don't have a connection yet. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. I ask for a connection to my highest good. Okay, as soon as you get a yes, keep doing that even breathing in and out. It makes your heart come into coherence. That means clarity, calm, connection. All right, as soon as you get a yes, then you start wherever you think you might be. So if you're sort of in depression, right now you would start down at 50 in apathy and ask, am I at apathy? Am I at 50? It's easier to use the numbers. Am I at 50? Yes, okay. Test it again. Is it 100% correct that I'm at 50? Yes, okay. If it says no, then you say, go down. Am I at guilt? No. Am I at shame? Yes. Okay, then you test it again. Am I at guilt? No. Am I at shame? Yes. Is it 100% correct? I'm at shame? Yes. Boom. Okay. Now, if you're not sure where you are, you're feeling pretty good, you start at neutrality. You start at 250. So just start in there around 250 and check again. You have your clear connection. Am I at neutrality? No. Am I higher? Yes. Okay. Then you start going 310, 350, 400, 500, 540. Oh, good. I'm at joy. Great. Or if it says, no, you're not higher. Am I lower? Yes. Okay. Am I at 200? Yes. You're at courage. Okay. That's not bad. Your emotional field is in an affirmative state. Your thoughts are being, that's possible. This is good. You're in an empowerment pattern. And the best of all, when you're in courage, is your permission. You're giving yourself permission. You're permitting yourself to change, to grow, to look, to do, to be. You're not stuck like you are at some other lower frequencies. So just discover where you are now. And then the cool thing is, please don't judge where you are. So don't be like, oh man, I thought it was here, because guess what? Then you're going to go into anger or pride, right? You're going to drag yourself down to some undesirable frequency that just really isn't any fun. So don't do it. Okay. So our goal is always to go to acceptance. That's why it's the top of the water here. It's the first time there's that free breath, that you're in power and not force. You don't have to force things. You're not in heaviness. All the energies underneath that, states, as we call them, are heavy, and all the ones above are like being lighter and lighter and lighter, and then up to enlightenment as well. So our goal isn't to always be at love and joy, because we experience life. Our goal is to be able to go to acceptance whenever we need to or want to, and eventually be able to navigate up and down the scale. If something very dramatic, painful, horrific happens in your life, it is perfectly acceptable, hear what my words, acceptance, acceptable, for you to dive down to grief. It's way down there. If you've ever been there, I had a daughter who died, and many other things that have happened in my life. And everybody does. Eventually, you have things that are tragic, that are very, very painful emotionally, and they stir up a lot of grief. There's even worse stuff, right? Shame, guilt, all of that. Depression is a very common issue, challenge for many people. So if you've been depressed, or if you are depressed, then you're going to, the awareness that you're vibrating around 50, that your emotional body is in a state of despair. It's constantly going to be feeling despair, right? That feeds to the depression, to the apathy, to the lack of who cares? The thoughts are hopeless. That's what your mental body, that's the frequency, the vibration of the consciousness level that's happening when we're there. So sometimes abdication means you left. You gave the throne up. The pattern there is like, I don't care. I'm not in charge of my life. I'm not making decisions. I don't give a shit. Whatever. This, that, the other thing, right? And so when we are aware of this, it isn't to say, oh my God, look at me, I'm way down here. Because then we're doing what? We're guilting ourselves. We're blaming ourselves. Now we're down at 30. And down there, almost everybody's experienced shame, unfortunately, right? That's heavy. You don't want to see anybody. You don't want to talk. So the minute you say, I accept where I am, you start to rise to acceptance. You may not get all the way there, but you're going to lighten up. So our goal is to get lighter and lighter than where we are whenever we become conscious of it. And if your goal internally is, I go to acceptance in any situation. So let's say you get some shocking news, okay? Oh, excuse me, someone took all the money out of your bank accounts, and your savings and all of your investments are gone, and they're not coming back, whatever the reason. That's the news you just got. Well, it would cause an emotional reaction. I doubt anybody on this call could say that you would say, so that's the mastery level of your emotional and mental and physical body. When you see certain monks or people who have reached that mastery level, they don't react to anything with any of these like shock and, oh my God, they've been through it. They've removed it from their body. they've conquered it, and they've learned the laws of abundance, the laws of the universe, which are the laws that tell you that there's polarity and duality and attraction and rhythm and an increase and all of this. And then they have learned how to maintain their mind and emotion at a state that they can be there, they can see it, they know what's happening, but they're not controlled by their emotions. They choose where they vibrate. So the goal isn't that you become cold, right? It's that you can say, so interesting. Oh, okay, that's interesting. That's my so. That's how I do that. Now, it's going to be important until you reach that point where you can maintain enlightenment, a vibration of around 1,000. There's beyond that, of course, and many, many times in Light Body School and on retreats and on a daily basis, even here, we go above 1,000. But once you're there and you are maintaining the ability to see from that perspective, right, from the top of the mountain, so to speak, then if your physical body has to go through in a reaction, because its reaction to shock is to release certain chemicals, then it could still feel those experiences, but it's going to move through them very quickly, right? It's going to go, oh, yeah, oh. And so that's why I show this and I teach this like an ocean, like water. So down here at Shame is the bottom of the ocean. It's the heaviest. It's the most pressure, right? The pressure gets really heavy underwater. We know water, it takes effort and strength to move through water. Water is very powerful. It can knock you down, right? You can't breathe very well underwater. You can't communicate very well underwater. And water also represents emotion, our emotional body, which is only one part of the scale here. Right here you see the emotional body. However, what we do is our emotional body is where our power is. It's like our nuclear power plant, a part of our light body, the layer of us. And so it's the emotion that kicks us, but it's the thoughts that are embedded in your mind that tell the emotion what it means, right? So I can hear about some kind of natural disaster, like a hurricane or a tsunami or whatever, earthquake, and people die, and you know, it's a lot of things happen. But I don't go down into grief and any of that. In fact, I no longer go down there at all. If I feel the need, like I feel something in my body that's like, oh, okay, this is coming to me, this information, this experience, I'm seeing this, I'm a part of it, because there's a part of me that's still holding some grief, because I've done a lot of work around grief. You can imagine, right? When you have something, which many of you have, right, of having a daughter die, then you've experienced very deep grief, and experiencing very deep grief means you've expanded your capacity for emotion, for experience, for energy, and it means you can experience very, very high level of love, joy, peace, and bliss. So there's always a positive to everything we experience. There's an empowering, there's an experiential, it's wisdom, it's becoming the sage, it's going through the vision quest. You're really on a vision quest, aren't we? So then you're able to decide what you want to experience in the moment rather than react automatically. So right now, what I recommend is you accept. What does that mean? Doesn't mean that you go, there's this horrible, shocking news. I'm going to acceptance and I'm going to stand here like an ice castle. I now accept what happened. I forgive everyone. I am in harmony. It's all fine. No, not at all. What acceptance is you accept what you're feeling in the moment. So if your automatic reaction, that's the program and pattern right now in your mind and your body and your emotional field, is to go to anger or to grief, right? Or to misery, right? Tragedy. See, grief holds tragedy, it holds all of that. So that's frequently what happens. Get some rescue remedy, highly recommended. It's a Bach flower essence. Don't leave home without it. Um, and then you accept that you're going to grief. Do you see what I mean? So accepting that you're going to grief automatically means there's a lightening to the grief because you've decided to accept the grief. There's not a struggle with it. You're not going to be underwater fighting with it. You're going to be, oh, you're going to feel it. It's going to move through you. You might go through a series of fears, a scream, or your body, or cry, and you can do that in a second, in a minute, in 5 minutes, in 2 hours, in a day, in a week, in a month, in years, or in lifetimes. And therein lies the secret to you changing your life and aligning with your purpose, letting go, getting off of the cycle of recreating the same day, the same life, the same experience, the same results. Get on to creating a new you tomorrow. Do you get it? You get to choose how long you stay there in grief or guilt or apathy. How often are you there? How much are you carrying around with you? How honest are you about the fact that you're carrying it around? You've got to go deep and you've got to do this work to release it, right? Like to clear it. So we go to acceptance because the minute you go there, you accept it. It moves through you. You don't hold on to it because you're accepting it. And then you can go through an entire emotion because the chemicals that are dumped into your body over shock or fear or whatever, they'll dissipate in a little over a minute if you don't perpetuate it. So you just go through a minute of accepting that fear, that anger, that pain, that shock, whatever it is. Just feel it, relax. Feel it. Oh my gosh, like it's moving through you. Just watch it like a river. It's washing, it's rain. Maybe rain's a good one. Let's imagine it as rain. Rain pouring down, pouring down, pouring down, pouring down. And it's over. And now, because you accepted it, you didn't pick it up, you didn't hold on to it, you didn't swim around in it, you didn't talk about it, you didn't share it, you didn't go crazy with it. You're floating at a place where your emotions are giving it away, giving it back. Forgiving what's happened means letting go. Harmonious thoughts, transcendence is what you're going to be floating in a bubble of, okay, I'm rising above this. I'm rising above it. And then compassion. When compassion blooms inside of you, you are living from your heart. You have reclaimed your power. You can see clearly. It doesn't mean you're not going to understand the sadness or grief of the situation. It means that you're going to choose to go through it in harmony and compassion. From there, you can go into understanding, and then meaning at the next level means you can give it meaning. It becomes beautiful, really beautiful. Okay, all right, so the scale has become one of their favorite things in Light Body School, and I get so excited about teaching it because people have massive breakthroughs after little things like that where I explain it to you. So you can have an opportunity to free yourself because you're becoming aware of where you are. And you're becoming aware every time I go here, I drop down into fear. And every time I do this meditation with Nan, I go up to bliss. And every time I go around these people, I drop down into shame. And every time I go for a walk on the beach, I rise up into peace, right? So you start to have that feedback of what happens for you. So I wanted to remind you of my Black Friday specials. They're good till the 30th. I have a couple of my private sessions left of Abundance Goodie number 1, which is an Abundance Soul reading with me. We do 30-minute reading live, one-on-one on video or phone. It's recorded for you so you can listen to it again and again. I do energy clearing on you. I find the abundance blocks, find the channels, give you reading about what your design is, your your soul blueprint is around abundance and purpose. And we channel through any messages that are optimal for you. Then you can go deeper with me in a 2-hour deep dive session where I take you through high income hypnosis and a shamanic journey. We do very deep removal of blocks. You go to several different experiences, sometimes past lives. We transform those in real time and reprogram your mind and your emotions. We come back with a personalized prosperity plan. And then I've added, I need to change this. It's actually, you get 2 30-minute follow-ups for me, and that's half price. You just go to nanakasha.com. You'll also see a link over to the Sacred Sales Solution, which is a phenomenal 6-course program, only $97 right now, normally $697. There's lots of deep programming, high income hypnosis sessions in there you can redo. If you have any issue with money, prosperity, asking for a raise, asking for someone to buy your products, or raising your prices, this is the course for you. You start out transforming your money story. We go into beliefs, set, being the person you need to be, then how to have the